Greetings, everyone. This is Judge Schlackman. I'm a holistic counselor and spiritual energy healer. And in this video, I'll be speaking about the topic of love. Of course, many people have many different thoughts, ideas, and beliefs about love. And for this particular discussion, I'm going to contrast a couple different polarized ideas or beliefs that are common about love. The first one could be summed up in the title of the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. And the polar opposite perspective, in a sense, could be summed up in the title of another song, Love is for Suckers. And for those that aren't familiar with that one, that's by the heavy metal band Twisted Sister. So these particular phrases are, in a sense, summations of polarity-oriented attitudes about love. The light polarity would tend to say all you need is love. They're very much focused on unconditional love, on seeking to express that sense of unity and connection to everyone, fully embracing everyone around them. Whereas the opposite attitude, the idea that love is for suckers, is the idea that to have empathy and compassion, to have that self-sacrificing belief system, is, in a sense, in opposition to one's own self-interest. The idea there being that everyone around us exists to in some way be used to serve the ego or the self. So if you believe that love is for suckers, your attitude is that you should only focus on your own personal desires, on what you wish to obtain or pursue in your life, and other people, in a sense, don't really matter so much other than in the way that you can use them to get what you seek or desire. So that's a very ego-oriented perspective, a dark polarity type of perspective, where rather than serving others, the focus is on service to self, the idea being one of great separation, where you see yourself as distinct and separate from others, where you are concerned about your own desires and how your actions impact others isn't really your concern. So you're disconnecting from having any sense of conscience or empathy. You only care about getting what you need to meet your immediate desires or even your long-term goals. Everyone, everything exists to serve that end. So the world in that sense revolves around you. The opposite, the light polarity viewpoint, the all you need is love concept or unconditional love, posits that you are not separate from anyone or anything else, that you are part of the whole, united in that essential essence. And therefore you would actually sacrifice your own individuality, your own ego, your own apparent needs or desires to help others feel good, to satisfy or support others in some way. The reason I bring up these two polar opposite perspectives is to point out the limitations and the distortions that are present in each of them. Each of them represents some form of imbalance, of incompleteness. There may be some kernels of truth, in a sense, present from both perspectives, which is why people can attach to those beliefs and attitudes. If it was 100% invalid, 100% out of touch with any reality, you wouldn't find people attracted to those particular belief systems. It's the very fact that there is some piece of reality or truth present in them that draws people to those beliefs. With the light polarity belief, the idea that all you need is love, we have the fundamental truth that we do originate from a spiritual essence where everything is united in an indivisible whole. So that wholeness or oneness truly does exist. It is a particular level or realm of consciousness that we often aspire to reconnect with the experience of that. So when we pursue a feeling of love, when we want to express or experience love in some way, we are seeking to reconnect with or remember that state of wholeness and unity. That's a very high frequency or high vibrational state, and we naturally desire to attain that. However, the idea that love or the seeking or expressing of love is the only thing that we need to be concerned with in our human life, the only thing that's relevant to this level of existence, is a distortion. It's failing to recognize, or in a sense resisting, what is right in front of us, that there is much more to life than merely this seeking to experience and express love. That love essence per se is the foundation of our existence. It's something we need to be aware of, something that is fundamental to who we are, to the flow of life itself. So it is something that's quite important, quite valuable, and quite essential. However, it's not all there is to our life, just as our heart is not all there is to our body. Without the heart, without its function, without its archetypal purpose being played out, the rest of the body could not live and function. And so without love, life could not function or operate. Yet, we don't ignore all the other aspects of life just by recognizing that love is very vital and essential. We can consider and pay attention to all those different aspects of our life, to being able to sustain ourselves on a physical level, caring for those basic human needs. Also being able to assert ourselves, to have boundaries, to use our power in a healthy, balanced way, to communicate, to speak and express ourselves in order to build understanding with others. There are many different aspects to life that we are here to learn, to master in some way. Love is sort of the heart of life. It's something that underlies or gives rise to everything else. So without love, none of these other things would be there to be pursued or explored. However, it's kind of a half-truth in a sense to say that all you need is love. Love is the essence, the glue in a sense, that binds all of creation, that reminds everything of its interconnectedness, of its being part of a greater whole, a greater unity. So we can have that understanding and apply that concept to create more love and more connection in our human experience. However, that's not a reason to neglect other aspects of life, not a reason to go too far in sacrificing yourself or neglecting your own well-being and your own needs. your own individuality. The human experience, the physical realm, include this development of individuality. And so if you're working on developing individuality, you have to experience and explore differences. You have to explore boundaries. You have to explore using your personal power and finding a balance between yourself and others. So this sense of unconditional love is something that we can cultivate, while at the same time we can cultivate our individuality. We can express our individual needs, our individual interests, and we can balance that out with the needs and interests of others. So we don't need to go to one extreme or another. We can have compassion and empathy for others, and we can also care about ourselves, our own well-being, our own personal needs or interests. One doesn't have to be exclusive of the other. And this is the lesson of balance, that we can address the concerns that exist at both spectrums of the polarity continuum. So we can understand where this idea of unconditional love, of all you need is love, comes from, that desire to feel and share love, while at the same time we can understand the concerns of those who are focused on their individuality, on their personal power, their personal needs and desires. We don't have to discount either end, either polarity or part of the spectrum. I hope that this particular discussion has given some greater nuance to this topic. Perhaps it can bring some integration to the perspectives that are seen through the lens of duality and non-duality, the oneness and the separation. We don't have to negate either aspect of existence. Both the oneness and the dualities can coexist. They must coexist ultimately for life to be manifested. So we are each a part of that manifestation of life, that desire to seek and know more deeply, to appreciate ourselves and all the potentials that exist when separation or fragmentation are imagined. There's nothing wrong about that. So for each of you watching this, I appreciate you taking your time to explore these personal growth topics, to explore spirituality and holistic health. For those that want to learn more about these subjects, you're welcome to watch more of my YouTube videos. You may also visit my website, phinsights.com. That's phinsights.com. And for now, I'd like to wish each of you a lovely day. Namaste.